Everybody, happy Wednesday. Oh, I've got a phone real high up here. Let me fix that and try and adjust it. So 2 seconds. All right, perfect. So how's everybody doing today? Hope you're having a great happy Wednesday and had a great 4th of July. We had happy 4th of July here. So happy that we're giving away 4 presents of irons today. So we are giving away 4 presents for the 4th of July. So hang in and make sure you do your comments, answers, and shares. We love positive comments and are always rewarding those and shares as well. So if you share, make sure you share publicly so that we can see that you've shared. Today, we are talking about knowing the rules to break the rules. Now, my whole life, I've been a rule bender. You know, if there's like, a lot of people are like in traffic and there's 2 or 3 lanes and like one lane is really full. A lot of people will go, you know, like assume that you have to be in that lane or something. I'll always go to the shortest line if I can. So I'm a rule bender, if you know what I mean. I like things that don't affect other people in a negative way, but really can help you get to your destination faster. I like that. So today we are talking about how you can curl your hair, knowing the rules that you need to know to keep your hair healthy, but how you can bend the rules to make your time more efficient or, you know, to get different curls. So we are going to probably have lots of questions on this, I hope. So if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I am here to help. We have Tammy here today. Hello, Tammy.
Hello.
She is here today. Jenny's out of town today. She is in California. She's in California enjoying Disney. So if you see Jenny, say hi. Jenny and family say hi in Disney. Okay, so if you have any questions today, let us know. We're going to help you learn the rules to break the rules. So we're gonna have Tammy remind me what all the rules are so that in case, we won't do them all at once, Tammy, but you know, we're gonna start by teaching why you brush your section first and then how you can get around that rule if needed if you don't have a brush on hand, okay? So one of the first things that I'm gonna try and do it kind of in order because the first thing I'll want you to do is brush your hair, right? So we wanna make sure that you brush it through very well. The reason you brush it is because the more separated the hair is, the more evenly it heats. If the hair is all contorted in there and knotted, it doesn't heat as even, so your curl won't last as long. So you wanna brush it so that your hair is going smooth through the plaits. So, knowing that, how do you break that rule? Well, if you want to achieve a different curl, like a more dreaded curl, you can twist it like this. You just have to know how long to heat it and to know how big to make the section. So let's see if we can teach you that. The reason this came up to me today, by the way, is that we're getting phone calls on here even though we turned off the notifications. I'm not sure why that happens. Okay, so the reason I got distracted too by a phone call. So what we have to do is brush forward and keep it nice and separate. Oh, the reason I was teaching this is because I want to teach you guys my new favorite curl, and I realize I cannot teach you my new favorite curl unless you know the rules really well and are successful with them. So you'll see how I have this all brushed out evenly, and I'm gonna go in and curl. Now, let's see what happens. Oops, I kind of sped through the bottom. Let me fix that. So see how you can pick up a curl in the middle, in the valley of a curl, and then you can finish it out. Okay, so when I brush it out and get a nice section, I get a nice curl. So a lot of people like unknowingly kind of twist when they get their hair prepped. And there's real subtle ways of doing it. Sometimes you just pinch it like this instead of holding it spread out. Or sometimes you kind of, like I've seen people when I was doing FaceTimes, they would just twist or something. And so you can see it's all rotated. Now, you have to remember I'm really well versed in curling, so this might still turn out good. But you can see how, oh darn it turned out really good. But I've seen lots of people that have twisted it and then they don't evenly heat it, right? I know how slow I have to go and things like that and how to change it and naturally spread out my hair. So it's hard for me to keep it twisted in there. Let me see if I twist it like a lot, if I can get that effect. I'll probably still be able to do it, to be honest.
And just so that they want to know if you straightened your hair today or you just, had an air dry or blow dry it today.
This is my new favorite blow dry, so that's the one where I do everything forward. I wonder, have I showed that on live? If not, I should do that very soon.
You have.
So you can see how it breaks the rules, but I can still achieve a more dreaded look. You see how, or no, not a more dreaded look. I can still achieve a curl, but it just has a more dreaded look. So the difference is, how you set up. You can still have success, even though I'm breaking the rule, which is keeping the hair very spread out, but you have to know how to do it, right? So if you're good at achieving these curls, you can achieve this curl if you want to. You just have to know how to do it. Okay. This is my new favorite blow dry. I really love this blow dry. It's so freeing. It's just using all the iron angles of moving forward with a round brush, and that's it. And it's complete freedom from having your hands like back in the danger zone, of the danger of getting tired zone. I don't like being tired. I like being full of energy. A lot, right, Tammy? We like full of energy. Okay, so we're all a little tired. We've had long weekend of 4th of Julying around here because we have a whole 4th of July party for like all weekend because our town is
amazing.
Amazing. Yes, it is amazing. We have lots of people come in. It's really fun. So the next rule, so brushing out, what it does is it allows the pieces to be evenly heated. So when you are curling in a different form and you don't have a brush, just make sure your pieces are evenly heated. That's the goal of it. And then you can break that rule. Okay, the next rule, I have to move this notification out. We're getting all kinds of notifications on here today because my iPad won't charge. So it's exciting around here, trying to figure out how we're gonna do it. Okay, the next thing is sectioning forward. So I always want everyone to section forward because that's the direction I want you to travel, okay? So can I travel in different directions? Absolutely. The reason we teach you to go forward is so that you can move forward and you set yourself up for it and it's comfortable, okay? So that automatically pushes you in the direction so that your curl can form easy on the back of the iron. So I'm trying to take the guesswork out of how to create a curl for you by teaching you to section forward, brush forward, and then, and then glide forward. So gliding forward. So see, everything was the same motion. So those are your like foundation pieces, okay? So brush forward, section forward, move forward. So how can I break that rule and why would I break that rule? So if you want curls to be, if you're a person that has a hair type that gets real ringlety or your curl gets very tunneled, then you might need to be a person that goes off out to the side. Now, the reason you'll want to be doing this is because you're probably rotating a lot. And when you rotate a lot, when you take your angle and change the angle, then you're changing how much you're rotating the curl, and then you can get a more full curl. So like one of our stylists, Genevieve, if you've seen a video of her, or Jenny, both of them like to curl up and out. And I think it's because their natural tendency is to rotate more, and thereby their curls would get tighter than they would like. So they can change the shape of their curl in many different ways by changing their angle or their rotation. So both of them chose to change their angle instead of their rotation, or their movement angle instead of their, wait, they're both movement angles, mangles. Mangles. They're both mangles. Okay, so so you can change it and get a very pretty curl. You see how that curl is very pretty because I went out, and what it does is it just takes the rotation out of your iron. So you can also compensate by not rotating as much, which is how I usually do stuff because I like the forward motion and laziness.
Some questions about the reasons for twisting the hair.
Why did I?
Yes.
Well, basically, the reason for every movement change in anything to do with the iron is changing your curl. Okay? So at the core of it all, it's changing your curl. If you want to change the look of your curl, you have to change how much you rotate, what angle you hold it at, or how you section the hair. Those things will change your curl to almost infinite possibilities. Like I haven't met a curl that I really haven't been able to achieve yet. Even when people have like naturally crazy spirally curly hair, I most of the time can match that. There's like, you know, Kinley's hair might be an exception because it's so long, and I'm not sure that any curling iron can match her curl, to be honest. But so, you know, within reason, you just have to know that you can change different angles, there's so many tweaks in it that you can change to create different kinds of curls. Did that answer what they were asking?
Yeah, I believe so. And the next thing is about sectioning your hair for blow drying. Do you need to do that?
Section your hair for blow drying. So there's lots of different ways for blow drying. You can, of course, you can always section. You can. I just try and teach you the fastest way without having to do that. So do I section? No, because I think that I always want to figure out a way where it takes me less steps and thereby less time, because as you accumulate all of that time into your weekly routine or your monthly or yearly routine, it adds up to a lot of time. So I'm always trying to take little parts out that make your day easier for you. So I do not like to section. I like to figure out a way to work around the sectioning.
With that same question, they're saying, is it easier and faster then to blow dry forward like that, like you're saying?
Okay, so for me, hold on one second. Let me get my blow dryer and my round brush. So I used to blow dry by moving my hair all around in sections like this, right? I would follow my blow dryer like this all the way around, and that's how I would create a look. And it caused a lot of like movement. What it does is it allows you to break your natural fall tendency, right? So recently I took the approach, because, you know, I've been having more fun because this blow dryer has changed my life, and I actually enjoy blow drying now. So what I do now is I try different blow dry techniques to see which one I like the best and which one gets me the best result. And now I've found that if I blow dry on a low speed and just take the same angle that I'm using with the iron, and I just, I don't have my blow dryer plugged in. That always tricks us because we don't plan on using the blow dryer every week. We're gonna have to do that now.
Yes, a lot of blow drying questions.
Okay, all right. So what we can do is blow dry everything forward like this. And when you blow dry forward like this, what I found is that by doing this, I get so much volume up here, and I can make everything nice and smooth and in shape. Like, it just makes everything easier. So look at back here. If I grab back here, the first thing I do, so I don't even have to pick up the section or the hair, I just pick it up with my brush, and then I blow dry the upper half like this. And then when I get to the comfortable place, then I start blow drying down and forward like that. So that's how I do the whole blowout, and that's how I got my look today before I started curling over on this side. It is my new favorite blow dry. It really has. And imagine getting to do that while, and I do on that speed and high heat for me, because I like to lay down the cuticle really well. And then I get to watch videos and music and things like that. And I am becoming very well educated on lots of stuff from YouTube. Okay, so back to, is that good for blow dry questions?
I think that's good.
Okay, and I think a lot of people were wondering what it sounds like on high too, because we always do the low. So here's low, and then here's a high speed. So you can still hear me, and we can still have a conversation over it, but it is still a little bit louder, so you might have to have like a speaker with your iPhone or whatever, you know, in conjunction. But if you have just an iPhone, a low setting, you'll be able to hear over it and everything. And I can still hear my kids when they come in and talk. That was a big thing to me. And it may sound, you know, it might sound different to you guys on here, but if I could compare another blow dryer without you having to see the other blow dryer, then I would do that and see the difference in how loud it is, but I guarantee you it's not near as loud. Okay. So, especially because of how much power it has. That was always my test. I used to go around to hair shows, and I would hold the blow dryer and see if it would, like, on high, if it could put my hair straight up like that to see how much power it had, and that's how I would test them. So that was my test. I used to go around the hair show and just blow dry up, and there was only one or two at the whole entire hair show that I found, and I tried a lot of blow dryers that had that much power that could take my hair straight in there, because that's what I wanted to do because of how I blow dry. Okay, so next iron rule that can help you. And by the way, everybody, we just started telling everybody that we put a scheduling link on here so that if you buy a blow dryer, our stylists are also prepared to help you with blow drying techniques as well, if that's what you're interested in. They always come with the iron to teach you how to use the iron, but now we've implemented so that they can teach you with blow drying as well, which I think is very helpful for a lot of people, because one of the rules that I say you cannot break is keeping moisture in your hair. I think it's the hugest, most important thing to keeping your hair healthy, and keeping the moisture in the hair is so key. So that's one of the things that the stylist should help you be able to decipher and things like that. Like, you know, if you're drying your hair, how can you not over dry it? And I think the biggest thing is by starting at the top and then working your way down to the section, because your ends are always going to dry, but I think most people start down here because it's that comfort. So that's why I worked on that blow dry that's forward, so that you are comfortable and you don't have to worry about just drying the ends way too much. All right, so moisture is an unbreakable rule. Keep moisture in your hair, which means your hair will be shiny after you blow dry. It will be shiny after you curl. Perfect. Now, so there are two unbreakable rules. What's the other one, Tammy?
Tension.
Tension, yes. When you use too much tension, there is nothing anyone can do for you. It is too much tension means more heat. Less tension means less heat. So if you put more heat and more tension, I don't care what that temperature is. If it's 200 degrees, if you go slow and you put too much tension, you will cause damage in your hair. Okay? So tension is a non-rule break, or is a hard and fast rule that I will not break, and same with keeping moisture in your hair. Those are two things that are so vitally important. Okay, everything else, bendable, breakable, malleable, changeable. Okay, so let's figure out what else you can change. What was the next one? So I had brushing forward, Tammy, and then
angles, your
angles. Yes. So angles change in both what direction you pull and what angle you hold the iron at, okay? So those are two huge variables that will change your whole world of curling, because you can make so many changes within here and here that, and it's hard. Like when I show you one curl and one curl, it's not as obvious, but when I show you a whole different look with using one angle, I think it becomes way more obvious. And I think you can see that on our Instagram. You can really see all the different looks that you can get, all the way from minimally short hair, like an inch or longer, to, you know, people with their hair down to their waist. So how do you change it, and how do you know why? Okay, so our main rule is to brush forward, section forward, push forward. Okay, so you kind of want to push the hair around the back. That's the easiest way, I think, for people to learn how to curl. For my new favorite look, what I want you to do is pull the curl instead of push the curl. So I still brush forward, section forward, and now I'm going to pull the curl forward. Do you see the difference? So is that easy enough to see? You can see how lean this curl is. And I kind of might have over-exaggerated it because I was trying to show you guys. I might have made it too lean for what I normally like. But you can see how pushing the curl makes it more full and pulling it makes it more lean. So that's why we teach everyone to push the curl forward. On the left side, it's really pulling, but I'm teaching on the right now. So moving forward is the key, and leading with the top then. So maybe I should say that instead of pushing. So if I'm leading with the top on both sides, that's what I consider pushing the curl. pulling the curl, the top is pointing back more. So let me show you my new favorite curl and try and not over exaggerate it to the point where none of you would want to maybe create that curl. Okay, so let me see if I can get that right. So now instead of doing this angle, I'm doing this angle, just barely. I want the top to be tipping back and be just off of vertical. And that is the one that creates that curl that I'm always like, I just love it because it always gives that like, it's almost like a Nike swoosh in here, but then with a twist, right? It kind of gives that like nice lean, undone curl that we've just been loving lately, instead of like the full Farrah Fawcett, right? So pushing it was like what we were doing probably 5 years ago with like nice, big, huge, like Victoria's Secret curls. And now we're doing like the undone beach wave. So first we were like big Victoria's Secret curls, then we were like beach wave, and now we're doing like the undone beach wave, which is really, I don't know, it just gives you movement, and that's the key, and which is really nice because it's a very fast hairstyle. It's amazing. And then next year it's all gonna be this, right? Just like straight and smooth and really easy. But I still love, love, love this. Do you have a question, Tammy?
Yeah, they want to know if the rules are the same for all hair types that we're discussing.
Ooh, so I think the reason we set in, I feel like I have lip gloss right here. I'm not sure if I do or not, or if it's a shadow. We don't have Jenny here for lighting, so our lighting isn't quite as good today. We miss you, Jenny, and my lighting. So, you know, the rules are not the same for every hair type because of your technique and how hair types work, right? My hair really takes curl really well, and some people's takes curl less, like less fast, you know? Like my daughter, you might have to go slower. You would think that my hair type, you would go slower because it's thicker, but that's not necessarily the case. I found that fine hair kind of tends to hold on to moisture longer, which is why their hair seems to heat really hot. Like fine hair, when you heat it up, when you touch it, it like burns. And mine takes a lot more to get that hot. And I think it's because it naturally holds less moisture, which is why I think fine hair is shinier and coarse hair isn't as shiny. Now, there may be a more scientific reason for that, but at the, you know, basic level knowledge, which is mine, basic level. Okay, so at that basic level, you can, you know, I can always figure out that my hair steams less than like fine hair does. Fine hair steams a lot because it holds a lot of moisture. And so, okay, that's getting like kind of technical, but so yes, it's funny. Not really technical, but kind of technical. So everybody, you know, can change their rules a lot. Like your rules will apply to you. So figure out what works for you. And the best way I've found to do that is just by taking a quick video of you curling your hair. You will see so much in that video that you would never have imagined. Like that's how I taught myself to explain it to you guys, is because I would do these videos in the beginning and I was like, oh, that's how I made that curl. And then I would watch the angle and then I would figure out that, oh, you can change the angle a lot, right? I didn't know it was gonna make all these different curls when I first started. I just thought it's gonna be a fast way to curl your hair. So, all right, let's get back to my new favorite curl. Because I call it the lean back curl, the lean back wave. Because I just like, because you're leaning your iron back instead of pushing it forward. So normally here, now we're gonna go here and just barely rotate it out.
Is it okay to hairspray your hair just into before you curl it?
I do not like hairspray before because I want hair touchable, soft, and very pretty. And I want the hairspray to just be, when it's in place, set it there. And that's what I think hairspray should be utilized for. If you need, you know, more grip in your hair, then you can find a product that is a preparatory product. Like there are working sprays, but I don't believe in having a sticky thing like be sprayed in your hair before you use heat on it. It just doesn't make sense to me. I want to keep moisture in the hair, not put alcohol in it and then cook it. So like, let me see. So then I would use, you know, we have Upstage, but there's lots of different products. I like Upstage because it builds that texture in your hair and then makes it hold for 4 days. 4 days. 4 days.
And
I always think that's funny, like 4 days versus 4 days. Okay.
And there are some questions about people asking as well as, should you always use a heat protectant?
That's one of the, I would say, breakable rules, because there are some thermoprotectants out there that I believe do more damage than good. The key is can you keep moisture in your hair when you use heat on it? That's it. That's what it all boils down to. Keeping moisture in your hair when you heat it. Imagine it like this. You're out on a desert and you need water to hydrate yourself, okay? So you need to, at some point, you can't stay in that desert unless you have water, right? There's a point at which it's a breaking point for you. Your body will shut down if you don't have water. It's the same thing for your hair. We just have a million different ways to go at it because we're not in a desert and we're not having to drink water for our hair, right? I mean, yes, drink water for your hair because it is good for it, but it's not the be all end all in this instance. So what we want you to do is figure out where the lack of moisture comes from. So if it's from some kind of thermoprotectant you're using that isn't great at its job, it will dehydrate your hair faster. So please use it if you think it's doing great for you, but there's a chance that some of them won't. So make sure that it's working for your hair. Did that all make sense to you, Tammy? Did you get the hydration part?
Yeah.
And okay. I always go on a little bit of a tangent and then I'm like, oh shoot, I hope I'm getting to the root of the point here.
Yeah, moisture, I know you always preach that. Moisture.
Yes. Moisture is everything. So your goal is
dry.
Yeah. And if your thermoprotectant doesn't seem like it's working, I would say don't use it and just make sure you're getting it in your shampoo and conditioner. So make sure that your thermoprotectant is doing its job. And make sure that your shampoo and conditioner is doing its job. And the job is always give you the right amount of moisture so that your hair can still perform for you. That is the key to it all. Find the right nutrition plan for your hair. That's the key. I do love the nutrition plan for hair. I don't know why we haven't addressed that before in this field.
And
so
there are a lot of questions about shampoo and conditioner as well. They want to know do you yourself condition your whole head or just your ends? Do you keep it
definitely
more away
all
from
of
your
it.
scalp? They want to know a lot.
I do all because I think that it's important for your hair to have the moisture restored to it here. So if you feel like you can't put conditioner up here, you're using the wrong either shampoo or conditioner. So if you can't get shampoo or conditioner up here, you definitely need to be able to get shampoo here. If you can't put conditioner up here, then you probably should keep searching for a new conditioner that will work better for you. And the reason I say shampoo in that, because some shampoos might seem like they work, but it might not be receptive to a certain conditioner. So you need to find the right combination for you. You should be able to put conditioner all the way up here. I think it's great for your hair. Okay. So let's teach. Okay, so what was the other thing? So we have lean back. What else did we?
The other thing was speed. You wanted to address.
Yes. So let's show the difference. I want you to go the right speed for the section size, right? So this section is like, I would say a medium section. This isn't a huge section for me. And we'll have to kind of, because I don't have this down to a science, the pace. I just go by like my intuition. I have to get this piece of hair out of my face so I can see. I feel like I'm getting buried in my hair today. Okay, so when you're doing this size section, right, you just need to figure out what it is that allows the curl to get formed in your hair without getting it too hot or drawing out too much moisture. So you want to make sure that you are retaining the moisture again and making sure that you're going the right speed for that. If I go too slow, I'm going to overheat the hair and dry it out. If I go, I wish I had a cool iron. So if I go too slow, I'm going to burn this hair. That's all there is to it. So my goal is to be as fast as I possibly can through the section without creating frizz. When you have frizz and you're going speedy through the section, it either means you're holding it too tight or it means that you are going too fast because you're just waking up the cuticle later, and that's it. So you want to make sure that you find the right speed for your hair. Now, how do I know when I go too fast? Okay, I'm going to try and go too fast on this section. Okay, so do you see how my curl won't form? Let me see if okay, darn it. That always, it tricks me because I can curl my hair pretty fast. But I've got my time down to a minute now, so you have to understand that. So let me go too fast. Okay, there. There is no way that's gonna shape a curl for me, okay? And everybody's pace is different. It just doesn't work the same for everybody's hair type. Where's my piece? My comments are in the way here. So when you go too fast, you will not be able to shape that. The curl will not shape for you. You want to make sure that you know that it's working at the right pace. Now, if I want a more curly curl, then I will go slower. If I want more of a wave or a lean back curl or whatever, I want to go a little bit faster, right? So the slower I go, the more curly my curl is going to get because I'm giving it more time to heat to the core and really reshape that shape. The faster I can go, the more lean my curl, or the more full my curl will be. So there's two factors in fullness: how much you rotate and how fast you go, and tension actually. So all of them factor in actually. That was tricky. I was like, oh yeah, there's one factor. No, there's three. Oh, it's a tricky world, this artistry, when you're trying to teach people how to be a hair artist of sorts. Okay, but you can get it. All you have to do is know that all of those things factor in at every angle, right? So if I'm an artist and I'm trying to create a gray, I'm mixing black and white, right? But black is made up of every color and white is absent of every color. Is that right? Is that right? Is that how it goes? Or is it the vice versa? I always got confused on that one. But anyway, what I do know is that when you mix colors, there's many tints that can go into a gray, right? It can be very brown, or it can be very purple, or it can be very light white gray. So it's the same idea for when you're creating curl. Which angle, what pace, how much you rotate, and what your hair type is. So there's many factors to it that create lots of different looks for you, and you just have to figure out what combination works for the hairstyle that you're loving right now. And right now, I'm loving lean back curls, and that's why we have to teach you all the rules. So, what other rule am I missing? Am I missing anything else?
I think you got it. Speed, section, angle, and the brush.
Yeah, and I think tension is one of the biggest factors. I always want you to understand that if you touch the plates to plates, when your hair is in there, you are putting too much tension on. You don't have to squeeze it. Let's see if I can do this. Really open. See how open? Let's see how open I can. I'm gonna try and hold this really open for you. See how open that is? You can see that there's a big open spot there, and I can still get a curl. And I like that curl a lot. So when you're pushing on it with your hand and squeezing like the white knuckle grip, more than likely you won't like your curl as much as you want, and you will be taking too much moisture out of your hair. So just be cognizant of that. Okay, so now that we've kind of created the curl I'm loving, I want to show you how you can brush through it and create that undone lean back wave. So do you see how it's in there, but it's not like super curly? Actually, this one did get pretty curly, but I still like that wave a lot, even though it's, more curly than I'm looking for right now. And that's okay. I'm not going to be judgy of that curl. I'm going to rock that curl. Okay. All right. So then you just have to find the right pace so that your curl stays. If your curl isn't staying for you, you probably haven't found the right pace, or it could be that your foundational products are too heavy for it. So our stylists are here to help you find the right pace, and then they could probably help you learn how to judge if you're using the right product, like shampoo, conditioner, thermal protectant, all that fun stuff. Even hairspray can weigh down your curl. It's ridiculous. That one just really upsets me when hairspray is heavy, and and weighs down a style because it just defeats the purpose of hairspray, right? Tammy, you should know that.
Yeah.
Tammy is a hairspray expert.
I hardly use any anymore.
Isn't that funny? Why is that? Because your hair just holds better now?
I think I'm just learning that it's, healthier not to use it. It's just been helping the health of my hair. All of the tips you give.
Yeah.
Keeping the moisture in the hair, less tension, don't blow dry as much.
Yeah, that blow dry. Oh. When we started talking about how many times a month we shampoo now, that is, I think, the big aha moment for me when I started saying, well, I wash about 6 times a month now. That is, some people do that in a week. And my hair looks clean all the time, I think. Even though I have regrowth, a lot of it right now, and it's very dark, it still looks clean, which I think is so key. All right.
And
life-changing.
Jacinda, they want to know, how do you keep your hair from falling out when you're holding the iron so loose?
So that's what your other hand is for, is to assist you in holding. So let me show you how the left hand works. This is one of those rules too, for sure. We should have incorporated this in. So see my left hand here. Watch all the work it does. It holds my section forward. It wraps the hair around, and then it holds and leads so that I don't have to worry about how much tension I have to hold the hair in there. And you can see how shiny that hair is even after I just curled it. There is no reason for your hair to go dull or have too much tension on it. Even when you're straightening, I see people still have that grip on it. And I think it is because this is a professionally, it's geared for professional use, because of that we put all the highest end everything in it, like titanium plates, so that it's a faster heat transfer, so that you don't have to use the tension. Ceramic creates the surface that requires slower, more tension, so that you can actually get it to do what you want. Titanium allows you to have the freedom of being able to have less surface. Is surface tension probably right? Surface tension between the hair and the plate to do what it needs to do. So that's how you're able to hold it more open and have less pressure on the hair, and it will transfer the heat fast and smooth and help lay down the cuticle. Did I answer that question, or did I go on a tangent?
No, I think that was good.
I'm always wondering.
I answered it very well, because that explains the difference in the plates, because we have that question a lot in customer service.
Okay.
The difference with ceramic and titanium, they want to know the difference always and why.
Yeah, it's a big difference, and that's why we chose titanium. To be honest, they said, a lot of people in the industry, when I was doing research of whether I should put titanium or ceramic, I was a big believer in ceramic because that's what I used. And then they said, why would you do that? But then they said, well, you should use, because we have talked to a couple of the bigger stores about putting the iron in the store, but they like ceramic because they think that the general population isn't smart enough to handle it. And I think, well, maybe you guys aren't smart enough to educate them. So, in my eyes, you guys are all smart enough to do this, and you are all smart enough to understand that surface tension is a problem, so you just use less. And I think using less is a better idea than creating an iron that you have to squeeze harder to do it and get the heat across. It didn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. So I wasn't willing to switch to ceramic to go into bigger stores. Does that make sense? Everybody get that? Okay. Because I think you guys are all quite capable of using, you just have to learn. That's it. It's just learning. I mean, if everyone said, this car is really difficult, you'll never learn how to drive it. I mean, you're going to have a license and everything, like you'll never get it, then they're not going to get it. But if you believe in people to achieve better, then they're going to get it. And I believe in you guys. I believe in all of you to do amazing styles that you guys show me all the time, and I love it. Okay, so I have a huge section now, and I want to show you how I can go very fast through it, because if I'm not picky about the curl and I do give it time to shape and all of that, because it is that faster heat transfer. Do you see how that works? So if I had a ceramic plate, I would have to go slower because it wouldn't transfer the heat that fast. Perfect. So I think I have my style pretty much done.
Any tips on getting your hair to stay living in Texas to get those curls to stay longer?
Timeless. So here's what we have learned, or is, my theory on it, is that if your hair is healthy and has the right products on it, it will react better in every circumstance. Your hair, just like I believe in you guys to be able to use the titanium, if you put the right products on your hair, over time, your hair will perform better than you could have imagined it. So I believe that if you stick with a certain shampoo and conditioner that works very well for you, that restores protein and moisture to your hair, and it doesn't strip it of it, then your hair will start performing better than you ever imagined. And if you find the right products, so like for me, I think Timeless is amazing at sealing down hair and making it hold the moisture in so that it doesn't pull the moisture in. Because what your hair is going to do if it's dehydrated is it's going to pull moisture in from the air, and it's going to want more and try and pull it out of the air, and then thereby your hair will react differently. Now, if you sweat on your hair, it's a different story because it's causing a different kind of moisture. But if your hair is pulling it from the air, like it would in Texas and Florida and all the humid climates, not clients. Okay, so in all the humid climates, then it's always going to be searching for that. But if you restore it at the core, then it won't have to pull it out of the air so much. And it will also dry faster. So, hence the reason I can dry my hair in 9 minutes now and then leave it for 4 and 5, 6 days. 7 days. 7 days now. I forgot. I keep forgetting because I used to always do 4 days, and now I'm like to 7 days. So I just wash it for you guys, so I can do a new style. But then it does kind of limit me on my creativity because I'm always trying to create in front of you instead of like on my off days when I used to curl my hair on my own. Okay, so do we have winners?
We do have 4 winners picked for the 4th of July.
Whoa, 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. Our Independence Day, everybody. Do you know what's so funny? I found out. Do you guys know what the Boston Tea Party was about? 2% tax, I think. A 2% tax. I thought that was so crazy. I thought that was funny. That just made me think of it because of Independence Day. I don't know if Independence Day came around. I wonder if I don't know enough about Independence Day, where it stems from. I know it's our freedom. Okay, so anyway, so how are winners doing? Do we have winners?
Yes, winner number 1. Lizzie.
That's part of my education, my YouTube education I've been getting lately, okay? I'm learning all these obscure things I want to throw in here, and it doesn't make a lot of sense for me too. Okay, so next, Lizzie, what?
Lizzie Lancaster.
Lizzie Lancaster, you are a winner of an iron today. Congratulations. And we have the Style Time link for all the winners today so that if you have any questions on how to achieve the curl that you want, you can sign up for that in the link, or anybody else that has an iron for that matter. Just not the fake irons. We don't teach the fake iron people. Sorry. We only make time for the people that bought from us, not the fakers. Okay, next. Who's our number 2 winner? Second winner.
Lindsay Keegan Vansel.
Lindsay Keegan Ansel? Vansel. Okay, so Lindsay Keegan Vansel.
You got
Congratulations, you are our 2nd of July winner.
The 3rd of July winner.
3rd of July winner is
Sarah White.
Sarah White, congratulations, you are our 3rd of July winner. I almost said 4th. I almost blew, which was the next number. Number 4, 4th of July for Independence Day. Which one?
We have Dakota Baldwin.
Dakota Baldwin, you are our 4th winner. So happy 4th of July winners. Yay! Congratulations. And our link is above. Next week we will teach the whole look. I won't have obscure curls of more curly and less curly and all that fun stuff. And if you guys have any requests, make sure you let us know, because we're always looking for what you guys want. What can we teach you? What do you want to learn so that we can help you achieve every one of your hair dreams?
And we need addresses, emails.
Addresses and emails, email address and mailing address for the winners so that we can get your irons out to you promptly, like our team always does. Except for we gave extra days off for the 4th of July because we had such fun here. So we had Monday and Tuesday off this week. So Congratulations to all the winners today on Time Live, and next week we'll see you really with Kendrick. We had it mixed up, so Kendrick didn't make an appearance today. I'm thinking I might have the guys of Time on, including like Kier, Kendrick, and my husband Dan, if I can talk him into it, maybe. So we'll see if we can have them on for some Q&A or something. Okay, thanks, bye.